I'm going to show you how to do restaurant quality meals in your home that your kids are going to absolutely love. They're going to be nutritious. You'll enjoy preparing them. You'll spend more time together as a family at the dinner table. And isn't that what we're really looking for? All you need are a couple of saute pans, a sauce pot, maybe a stock pot to get going. And then as your skill level and your interests increase, then you can kind of build your inventory of fun little things that you like to have, little gadgets and whatnot. But you know, a cutting board, 3 knives, a couple of pans, and you can succeed. What we're going to do now is we're going to do some pan-seared pork chops in cast iron skillet. For a couple of pork loin chops, bone in, that nice lean cut. Now we're going to dust these pork chops on both sides with a little seasoning blend that I put together. Make sure and pat it in on both sides of the pork chops. And let the pork chops rest for a couple minutes so that the salt has time to dissolve into the meat and to carry the flavor a little bit deeper. Now people ask me too, well, how do I know when it's searing? And it's really pretty easy. If you can hear it, then you're searing it. Once the pork chop is in the pan, I'm going to be looking after a couple of minutes for some little beads of moisture to come up through the flesh. That's when I know that it's time to flip it. Okay, we've seared it on one side, and now we're going to flip the pork chop over and finish cooking on the other. So I'll tell people, go ahead and see what your flesh feels like when it's raw. Now bring your left hand over and feel between your thumb and forefinger. That's the same type of feeling. Now when this is done, put your thumb and forefinger together, and that's what cooked flesh feels like. We're going to check our pork chop now to check for doneness, and I'm going to go ahead and use that finger test that we tried earlier. And yeah, sure enough, the center of this pork chop, the thickest part, is nice and firm, so I'd say that pork chop is done. Next, we're going to be sauteing some sugar snap peas with a little touch of minced garlic. I'm going to mince up some peeled garlic cloves, and we're going to do that in the cast iron too. Cast iron is also vegetable friendly. We like to use garlic in my family, so I buy it in large jars already peeled. I confess. But mincing it up is always a bit of a challenge for a lot of people. But I watched Julia Child do this about 30 years ago, and I love it. We're going to start with, again, a little drop of oil in the bottom of our cast iron. Actually, more than a drop, because I want to coat these sugar snap peas really well, give them a nice shine. La-da-da-dee. Now I'm going to put in my sugar snap peas first, and then add my garlic. The reason being is I don't want my garlic to burn. Kids, be sure Mom and Dad are there when you're trying this at home. Add a little bit of kosher salt. And now I'm going to add some of my minced garlic. A little touch more oil. There we go. Now we're talking. You need that coating of oil to actually transfer the heat onto the garlic. Otherwise, the garlic, again, will be basically getting seared, and that's not really what we're looking for. We want that garlic not so much to be seared, but we want that garlic to get cooked. Woo! My goodness. Here's a great pork chop that we did earlier. A little bit of those juices. Oh, ow, hot, hot, hot. Hot in a good way. Let's go ahead and dish up. Cooking is an activity that not only feeds your body, but it also nourishes your soul. And that's really what I'm getting at, is that regardless of who you are, where you live, that you have the capability in your family, on your street, in your neighborhood, in your community, to really make a positive impact on the people with whom you interact by cooking for them, by dining together. It's really, it's something much more than just warming up corn dogs and sitting down.